Good morning. Foggy, cool morning here in Bluenose. You can see the crew behind me there are getting ready. They're going to scrub the decks. It's something we do every morning. Scrub the decks and shine the brass and make the ship look good for our visitors. You can see it's foggy. It's days like today when we're out sailing with passengers. There's often sailing around in a ping pong ball or with your head wrapped in wax paper, and we don't see very much. We see porpoise around the bay and some seals, but often we can't see land, so it's just kind of a neat experience, and you get to tack around and come back, and all of a sudden land is in front of you, and there's quite often some confusion about what port it is that we're actually coming into. It's always a bit of fun. But this week we had the opening of the Mobility Cup here in Lunenburg, with the athletes parading through the streets of town, and to here on the Fisheries Museum property. We welcomed them aboard before the ceremonies, and then they asked me to speak, which is always a kind thing to do. It's an interesting thing to speak to people that inspire you. They reach beyond the everyday and work hard at what they do. And I know I've been talking to some of them, and the racing is competitive this week at Lunenburg Yacht Club. Here we are in the middle of deck wash. You can see there's an 1.5 inch fire hose spreading salt water around on the deck. And then we're using a degreaser to lift the dirt of the day off. You'll notice that the guys are scrubbing across the grain, and this is in the theory that the strong bristles on the brushes will not pull out the softer parts of the wood in between the grain. Fire hose, 1.5 inch fire hose that we're using, these are part of our normal fire gear. So it's the one thing about scrubbing down, and it means that the crew get experience using a fire hose, and that our pumps are run every day and the fire hose is examined every day. So it's a good thing. As the end of the season comes up, we sometimes have more tickets available, so you can look online, and I hope that you'll come join us through the month of September. It can be some beautiful sailing in September. Often the winds are up a bit from maybe the flat calms of August, and then when the leaves start to change color, it can be really beautiful in Lunenburg Bay.